Hi, hello, welcome back to the channel, LV on Handmade. Today I have a collection of 16, I believe it was, different knitting patterns, summer knitting patterns, ranging across almost all yarn weights from fingering up until bulky. We're gonna go through all of them, talk about some of the logistics and why I think you might want to knit them. Before I get into it, I do want to talk about this sweater because it's one that I just finished. This is the step-by-step sweater by Florence Miller, or Handmade by Florence, who is on this list. This is a great pattern, highly recommend it, especially for beginners. This was not this one, but my first time ever knitting a sweater was this pattern, and this yarn is Caron Blossom Cakes in the color, I believe, Denim Daze. Just to get right into it, I'm just going to start reading off. I am going to be looking down because I do have my laptop in front of me and you're propped up a little bit higher. If you are looking for a pattern in a specific yarn weight, go ahead and look down below into the chapters, which will be organized by the yarn weight rather than by individual patterns. But to start off, we're going to start off with some patterns in the fingering weight section. And we're actually going to start with a pattern from Handmade by Florence. This is the mixed drape cami, which is a fingering weight pattern. It calls for 3mm and 2.5mm needles. It is a sleeveless camisole tank top that is knit top down, first in the flat and then joined in the round. This is a really elegant looking design in my opinion. It combines a mix of wide ribbing and twisted ribbing, which gives a really interesting texture to the garment. It has a nice boat neck, which I think is very flattering, and I-cord edging, which is one of my personal favorite finishings. It also has optional waist shaping for a better fit. This pattern is one that I personally have been wanting to make for a while. I think it looks really nice. And just as an honorary mention, just because I didn't think of it when I was putting this list together, she also has a pattern, I believe, called the petal drop top or the petal drop camisole, something like that, which is also a fingering weight pattern and is beautiful, and you should check it out. I will also link that one in the description. All of these patterns will be linked in the description. So moving on to our next fingering weight top, we have the Tonight top by Lily Kate France, which is a really interesting looking sleeveless turtleneck. It uses 3 and 3.25mm needles. I was really drawn to this pattern specifically because I think it's a really versatile piece. It could be dressed up or down really easily. It by itself has a really elegant looking fit to it, but you could also really easily dress it down just with some shorts, something simple, or I think it would look really cool with like a leather jacket or a nice denim jacket and some cool pants and some Doc Martens. That's how I would style it personally. But this is knit top down in the round. It is primarily stockinette with some texture detailing down the sides, and it has a ribbed collar and ribbed hem with double knitted armholes to add a really nice finished polished look to that. Next is the Air Tee by Ozetta. It uses 3.5mm needles, and it is a top down drop shoulder construction. Like I said, it is a drop shoulder. It is knit both flat and in the round. It has really nice looking I-cord edging, and it has an oversized fit. This one is just a very nice basic timeless piece, but you could easily dress it up or make it more your style if you're not somebody who prefers basics with either a really colorful yarn. Maybe a nice hand-dyed yarn would be cool. I always love the juxtaposition of like a really simple pattern with like a neon color or a really like crazy variegated color. I always think that's really fun. But moving into our next yarn category, we have sport weight yarn, and the first design here is the Tide Loop top by Other Loops. Now this pattern calls for 3mm and 2.5mm needles. It is a tank top, but there is also a t-shirt version of this design, and they both look really cool. This one is knit top down, first flat, and then joined in the round once you get to the body. And the main design element that really drew me to this one is the texture. It has such an interesting texture. It has very organic looking, like wavy little stripes, very fitting to the name, the Tide Loop top. It also features stockinette rolled edging on all of the neckline, the arms, the body, which fits the rest of the design very well in my opinion. And generally when I was scrolling through the patterns on this one on Ravelry, it is just a really flattering fit. I didn't see a single person who did not look great in this top. I think the biggest challenge with this one, for me at least, would be deciding if I would want the t-shirt or the top version. The second sport weight design is Cami by Alicia Plummer. It uses 3.25 and 3.75mm needles, and this one is a camisole, a tank top, just like the name would suggest. This one is knit bottom up, actually. Our first bottom up pattern, I think. First in the round and then separated front and back knit flat. And then I believe, I don't have it written down in front of me in my notes, but I'm pretty confident it was a 3 needle bind off to join the sleeves, but there's a chance you might have to seam them. Now this one is a very simple, like stockinette camisole with like spaghetti straps, which does make it not bra friendly. I personally love when my bra straps are visible, which might be a little weird, but to me those are accessories. I love wearing a contrasting color or something with a little bit of lace. I think it adds to the outfit, but if that's not your style, you might want to skip out on this one. It also features a low back, which I love in a tank top, and it also has optional bust darts for, again, an ideal fit. Now this next one I'm actually pretty excited about. I have somehow never seen this one before, and I think it's the coolest thing ever. This is the Beads of Joy. Yeah, the Beads of Joy by James N. Watts. This one uses 4mm and 3.5mm needles. It is a t-shirt and it is knit flat, but you seam it as you go, and it has a really interesting, I don't even know what to call it, texture, paneling, construction. It's really interesting. You have the option of doing color work where each of the panels is alternating colors, or you could add multiple colors, or you can knit it all in the same color. It has a ton of visual interest. It has a really cool texture, and this is another one that's so versatile because you could knit it in one plain color and just have it fairly minimalistic just with the visual interest, or you could make it so incredibly maximalist. Like, you could do whatever you want with this one, honestly. And this one would be a great way to feature some really cool hand-dyed yarn that you've been saving up for a while. So our last sport weight design that I have here is the Zoe shirt by Kadri. This one uses 4 and 2.5mm needles. This one is knit top down in one piece because it is a button-up vest, like almost like a waistcoat kind of thing. It is knit flat but in one piece, completely seamless. It has 1x1 rib edging on all of the neckline, the armholes, all of that. It also has 1x1 ribbing on the button band. It has German short row shaping for a great fit, and this one is so versatile across seasons because you could use a more summer friendly fiber and wear it completely on its own or under or over a t-shirt in the summer, or you could layer it over a long sleeve, a blouse, a turtleneck, something else in the winter or the fall, or you could almost make it more like a sweater vest than anything else. This one is really cool, and this is one that I might make myself. I think it has a very flattering fit. Okay, moving on to the DK weight category. First design is called the Plumeria tank top by, and I'm not sure how to pronounce this, Along Avec Anna, I believe. It'll be linked down below, I'll put it on screen. This uses 3.75 and 3.5mm needles. It is a tank top once again. It is knit top down in the round. It features really simple stripes along with 1x1 rib detailing and short row shaping in the back. Something I love about striped patterns in general is how much the color of the stripes you use completely affects the style of the finished garment. If you have a more basic style, you could always do more low contrast, like a blue and a white, or something more classic like a navy and a white, or a black and a white, something like that. Or you could get really colorful with it, or you could do, if you're more alternative, maybe a black with a neon like Beetlejuice green would be so cool, or purple and a green is probably the combination I would do, honestly. You could do pretty much anything you want to have it match your aesthetic and your personal style. And you also have the option of making it in one solid color. Now this design has a pretty high neckline, almost looking like a boat neck, which I personally think is really nice and flattering. That's a theme you'll see throughout these patterns. I love a boat neck. Now next is a design that I am a little bit obsessed with, just a little bit. This is the Aosta Summer Top 2.0 from the Knit Pearl Girl. The Aosta line of designs is, I've been wanting to make them forever. I've been wanting to make the sweater in particular for a long time, and this design uses 4 and 5mm needles. It is a t-shirt. It is made top down in the round, and the highlight of this pattern is of course the texture. This design uses a stitch called the Andalusian stitch, I believe it's pronounced. I'm not sure about that, but it's so cool. It almost looks like a broken rib a little bit. In my opinion, actually cooler. I love a broken rib though. This one is knit in one piece with a raglan construction, short row shaping, and just I'm never gonna get over this stitch pattern. Honestly, I just love it. I really want to make that freaking sweater. So our last DK design is one that I don't really know how to pronounce, and I'm really sorry. I think it's maybe the Halevic blouse by Wool and Beyond. This uses 3.5mm needles, and this is a wrap top. It is knit top down and completely flat, completely in one piece. The best part of this pattern is it's free. It's completely free. It features a slip stitch striped pattern, which is really simple but also very visually interesting, has almost like a subtlety to it. It also has I-cord edging, which I love an I-cord edge, and I-cord ties. This is another one that I think I'm gonna knit myself. I really like this design. I think it looks great. So moving into the worsted weight category, and we're gonna start off with a pattern that I have been eyeing for a long time. I don't know what it is about this design, but I really like it. This is the Clover Tee by Lay Knit. This uses 4mm and 3mm needles, and it is a t-shirt that is knit top down in the round. It has a circular yoke with short row shaping along the back neck, and it features this really nice lace work across the yoke that, you know, it gets its name, the Clover Tee. They look like little clovers. I just think it's very elegant and nice, but it could be dressed down super easy. It could be very casual as well. After the lace work on the yoke, the rest is knit in stockinette with very, very short ribbing details along all of the edging, which really suits the design. I really want to make this in either a nice slate blue or like a clover green to really pay homage to the namesake. Next is another one that I've been kind of obsessed with. This is the Sabrina V-neck by Starcrossed Knits, who is a fantastic designer. You should definitely check all of their designs out. They're beautiful. This uses 4mm needles, and it is made top down in the round with set and sleeves, and you can make the sleeves any length. They have instructions, I believe, for a sleeveless top, a short sleeve, and a long sleeve top. There is I-cord edging once again. In the original design, they are done in a contrasting color, which looks really cool, and there's also a little bow at the bottom of the V-neck, which adds a really cutesy element to this otherwise very elegant design. There is also waist shaping for a nice flattering fit, as well as negative ease. I didn't mention that, which it just looks very sleek and nice, and I really like it. So our final worsted weight design is called the Tulip Sweater Tee by Bluebird Pine Shop. This uses 5mm needles, and it is a t-shirt that is made top down in the round. Once again, I'm sure you're sensing a theme here. You first work it flat for, I guess, you're shaping the neckline, and then you join it in the round. It's a very simple and classic and timeless looking sweater t-shirt. It's got really nice and short ribbing details, and the best part about this design is the embroidery, the little tulips, which is so perfect for spring and summer. And you could get a couple different effects. Like I've seen some people, you know, you do the embroidery with the same yarn that you use, so it adds more texture than anything, or you could make it super bright and colorful. You could do anything you want with this one. Now, moving into our final section, which is the bulky weight yarn section, I'm first going to bring up how hard it is to find summer-friendly yarns that are this weight. I know that Knit Picks has a, I believe, 100% cotton bulky weight yarn, but it has a little bit of a thick, thin texture thing going on, and I cannot think of the actual proper name for that kind of yarn. If anybody has suggestions for a bulky weight yarn that won't break the bank, please put it in the comments below, because I would really appreciate it. But to start off, we're going to start with the Seashell Sweater by Minimi Knit Designs, I believe is how you pronounce their name. This uses an 8mm needle, and it is a t-shirt that is made top down in the round with raglan increases, and it features, I think it'd be a crew neck, but it's really nice, and it has a very simple yet interesting texture. And this pattern also has a video tutorial within the pattern, which is nice. As the name suggests, the Seashell Sweater, this one has like a very almost like a fuzziness to it with the original yarn that was used, which just really suits the design in my opinion. It makes it look very airy and light, and I think that it looks really lovely personally. But moving on to the next one, this is another one from one of my favorite designers. This is the Happy Hour Top by Jamie Creates. You should definitely check Jamie out. They have a lot of really cool designs across all gauges, but specifically if you like chunkier knits, this is your person. This design calls for 6mm needles, and it is originally like a sweater vest, but could definitely, depending on the yarn and the fiber, be more of a tank top than anything else. It is made bottom up in the round, and this design features a really cool slip stitch pattern that has just a really cool texture that could easily be, again, dressed up or dressed down. And this is another one that could be versatile across seasons, because you could wear it on its own as a summer top, and then you could layer it over a long sleeve of some kind, or even under a cardigan in the winter or the fall. And something that I noticed about this design that I thought was really cool was when going through all of the projects on Ravelry, there were some that were in like black or other really dark colors, and that slip stitch pattern is still very visible. Not as visible as it would be on a light color, but that's always really nice to find something like that where you could use a black end and not lose the effect that you're looking for. So now we're at our final pattern. This is the Baby Love Top by Kara Ng, or Kara Ang, I'm not sure. I apologize. This uses both 6 and 12mm needles. It is a tie front tank top that's almost like a baby doll top, and it is knit flat in one piece. This one is another really good layering piece. In particular, it could absolutely be worn on its own, but it is a not at all bra friendly pattern, and I really don't think that it would be suitable to be worn by itself. If you are a larger chest, there's not really any sort of support. It has a really nice effect where the smaller needles are used for the body, and then you switch like under the arms to the larger needles, and it flares out and has this cool lacy effect, and it looks like a baby doll top, and it's super cute. So that was 16 patterns across almost all yarn weights. If you've ever knit any of these patterns, please put it in the comments below. Please let us know if you liked it or if you didn't, if there was anything you had to adjust or modify in the pattern, because I have not knit any of these myself. I'm just going off of vibes here a little bit. And also, if you have any recommendations for summer yarns, especially in the bulkier weights, but of any types, if you have a favorite, I would love if you would put that in the comments as well. But thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this content, I would really appreciate a thumbs up, and while you're down there, if you wanted to, you could mosey on over to the subscribe button. But either way, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a lovely day and a lovely summer. Bye!